basically, with romantic love, I feel like just with self-love, you need it. It's something that you cannot compensate. It's something that you cannot replace. Just like the love you have with your family, just like the love you have with particular friends, there are certain relationships that are given to you. There are certain relationships that you acquire. There are certain relationships that you will have that can never be replaced. Like, for example, I have a family friend. She lost her son to suicide. If she has a child today, which will be her fourth child, that is not going to become her third child because she lost her second child. You know what I mean? Like, losing someone, losing a relationship will never replace what that person was to you or who that person is to you. So I feel like the same follows for romantic relationships. Just like with familial relationships, you lose a family member, having another child is not going to replace a child that was lost. Having another grandparent isn't going to replace your maternal grandparent if you still have your fraternal grandparents. So just with romantic relationships, I feel like sometimes we try to like compensate, or at least that's what I try to do. Compensate self-love for romantic relationships that I do not have. And I don't have them because I feel like I know what I want. I know what I need. I know what I'm capable of giving to someone. I just want to ensure that that's reciprocated for myself. But I also want to make sure that I do establish myself more professionally and academically so that I can really nurture those type of relationships in the way that they need to be tended to. But I feel like I'm always getting off track. But basically what I'm saying is I'm a very spiritual person. And I feel like the reason why romantic love is so important is because that's creation. And it gives you an opportunity to connect with the Creator by connecting with creation. We are of the Creator. God took of Himself, or however you believe of this infinite entity, God took of itself to create us. No other influence, no other, contributor but God. So we are of God. And when you interact with creation, you're interacting with the Creator. You know what I mean? So I feel like romantic love is so important in that facet of life because it just gives you a closeness to God almost, Whether they be karmic relationships, what are they called? Like I was about to say twin mate, soulmates, because soulmates can be so vast and so wide, but twin flames, karmic relationships, those relationships allows you to get a closeness to the Creator by getting closer to creation. Maybe less with the karmic relationships, but definitely like twin flames and soulmates, you get a closeness to what God must feel like, because God is love. And you're experiencing love in so many different ways, especially romantically and intimately. It's important. To all of my young ladies out there, especially to all of my young black women out there, you can still be focused, you can still be determined and driven and securing yourself within self-love, which you should definitely do. Always do that. But if you feel like romantic love is something you're missing, I can't really tell you what to do because I'm still in the same boat, but just know you're not alone. And know that it is important. Romantic love is important if you feel it to be important, I'm not going to force my belief on anybody else, but I feel like we're all here for love. The purpose that we have in life is associated to a love that we have, which is a passion. Our passion gives us happiness, and all of it is connected to love. So, yeah, essentially what I'm saying is, for me personally, having a romantic relationship, having intimate moments with someone is almost as if you're having an encounter with God, because you're interacting with creation which allows you to have a closeness to the Creator. Doesn't even have to be just romantic relationships. It can be familial relationships, friendships, work relationships, acquaintanceships. Every relationship we have with each individual, even though they feel replaceable, they'll never be replaceable. You know, no one can be who that person was for you. Nobody can do what that relationship can do for you. You can't take the relationship you have with your sibling and equate that to a romantic experience. That's not gonna equate. It never does. Well, I'm not gonna say it shouldn't, because some of y'all, get down how you get down. But for me, it shouldn't. It doesn't. It won't. The relationship I have with my parents will never equate to the relationship I have with my brother. And that's another thing too. And I'm gonna get on a little segue, and after this I'm gonna stop. But there's this one girl I knew at my job, and she was basically trying to appease her mother because she loved her mother. But I think one of the things you have to understand as a child too is you cannot replace what your parents did not receive as a child as their children. If your parent did not receive the love that they needed from their mother or father, you as a child cannot give that to them. You can't. You can't. That's something I learned. My parents have been through a lot as children. I'm not going to put their business out because that's not my authority to do so, but they've been through a lot. And sometimes as a kid, you see that hurt child in them that you're like, well, let me love on them. Let me give them this. Let me give all that I have to them to let them know that they are valuable. They are special. They are worth something. And it's like, no. Your love will never be enough to fix what their parent has to, should, and hopefully will reconcile with their child, So yeah, that's about it. That's my little ramble about love, especially romantic love. It just, even having a child, look, segue queen, even having a child, I feel like that's a very intimate experience. No other child could replace another child. That relationship that a mother has with her child, or a father has with his child, that's like a closeness to the Creator. You're seeing what the Creator gave to you. You're seeing what the Creator gave to you, and as creation, you cultivated it and created this. It's crazy. So, love, love, love. I love love, and that's it. So, thank you for watching. If you have any input or insight or whatever you want to give me, give it to me, as long as it's of positivity, love, and light, okay? We don't do negativity. If you do, delete.